Yo, what's up, sports bettors? Alex here, and I have 10 player props for you today. Yesterday was a little bit of a heartbreaker on PrizePicks, so I almost had the $10,000 cash, the 25x payout. I needed Westbrook to go under 33.5 points plus assists. Obviously, it didn't happen. Westbrook absolutely went off. But regardless, I'm back with a bunch of picks for today. So I actually have picks on a couple different fantasy platforms, including PrizePicks as well as No House Advantage. So if you don't have this platform yet, I definitely recommend signing up. And the reason is, I say this all the time, but sportsbooks, they have different lines from one another. So you're going to notice one of the player props I'm on for today is Jared Allen under 10 rebounds, right? You look at PrizePicks, they have his over-under at 9.5 rebounds. So No House Advantage is a platform that works almost identical to PrizePicks, but all of these books, right? All these books, they try to set lines independently. They try to set lines themselves. They want to be unique. So really, as a sharp bettor, you're hunting for value in the market. So I'll show you the first player prop I'm on. You can see right here, in NBA player rebounds, I'm just on the OddsJam odds screen. So you just go here, and then you go to odds screen. Is the first play I'm on is right here. No House Advantage, Jared Allen, under 10 rebounds, right? The reason I'm on this is look at all the sports books. PrizePicks, Underdog Fantasy, two other fantasy sites, right? I explained this before, but PrizePicks and No House Advantage, they basically work in the exact same way, right? They're almost identical platforms, but again, we found a line discrepancy. No House Advantage has Allen's line at 10 rebounds. PrizePicks and Underdog, two other fantasy sites, have his line at 9.5. And all of the sportsbooks also have Jared Allen's line at 9.5 rebounds. And, you know, the sportsbooks have the over slightly favored, but barely any juice towards the over, just around minus 125. You can see the OddsJam algo odds, which weights every single sportsbook. I mean, the over is a very slight favorite, around minus 106. So long story short, this is exactly what we're looking for as a sharp bettor, right? You are hunting through the market and you are looking for value. You're looking for inefficiencies. And here, NHA's at 10. The two other fantasy sites, which work almost identical to NHA, No House Advantage, are at 9.5. All the sportsbooks are at 9.5. So we know No House Advantage is too high, and we want to take the under. So that's the first player prop I went with. And then I also have a play from the screen on PrizePicks. So on PrizePicks, my first player prop is Jaylen Brown over 27.5 points plus assists, right? So Jason Tatum, right? For example, all the books have his line at 34.5. PrizePicks Underdog have his line at 34.5. All the sports books have his line at 34.5, basically. So there's no value in the market, right? There's no discrepancies. There's nothing interesting. John Collins, all the books have his line at 12.5. PrizePicks has his line at 12.5. There's no value in the market. Don't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Whereas for Jaylen Brown, right, there's a clear discrepancy. PrizePicks has his line at 27.5. Underdog Fantasy's at 28.5. All the sportsbooks are at 28.5. So we want to take the over, right? PrizePicks is too low relative to every other data point. I mean, this is what's so cool about sports betting and why I love it so much, is you have literally dozens of data points telling you where the line should be set. In every single sportsbook, the entire market, every book has Jaylen Brown at 28.5 points plus assists, except for PrizePicks, right? PrizePicks is a full point lower at 27.5. They're too low, so we want to take the over. We found an edge. We found an advantage. So those are the first two player props I went with. And then we can flip over to the OddsJam Positive EV tool. So I've explained this before, but this tool, you know, it works for No House Advantage. For example, one of the plays I went with was Clay under 4.5 rebounds on No House Advantage. You're going to notice this line isn't on PrizePicks, right? It's only going to be available to you if you have No House Advantage. So that's why you want to have multiple sports books. So my first play is right here. So I have Ramirez under 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. Again, some of these player props may seem a little random, including baseball with basketball, a bunch of different games. But again, as a sharp bettor, I'm just following the value, right? Klay Thompson, we're getting minus 119 on No House Advantage. All the sports books, right? You want to go with 5 picks on No House Advantage, just like PrizePicks. Again, this platform works in almost an identical way. All the sports books, right, have Klay's under as the heavily favored outcome. So getting this play in your No House Advantage entry is great, right? So, long story short, sign up for as many sports books as you can, right? Sign up for PrizePicks, No House Advantage. Get as many of these platforms as possible. because they all have different lines from one another, and sometimes there's more value on No House Advantage, sometimes there's more value on PrizePicks, right? So what I ended up going with on No House Advantage is Ramirez under 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs, Thompson under 4.5 rebounds, Jokic over 22.5 points. So you can literally just see these plays from the EV tool. Allen under 10 rebounds. We went through that play. And then Robertson under 4 shots on goal. So sign up for No House Advantage. Sign up for Underdog. The more sports books you have, the better, right? All these books set lines independently. You're not going to win every day, but sometimes the value's on Underdog. Sometimes the value's on PrizePicks. So you want to have as many of these books as possible. So yesterday we had a cash on Underdog. These lines weren't available on PrizePicks. So if you only have PrizePicks, you're missing out on this great betting opportunity that you could have had yesterday. So anyways, let's keep on going. So what's interesting about PrizePicks, and I say this in, a bunch of videos, but what's really interesting about the PrizePicks platform compared to sportsbooks is PrizePicks, they don't change your payouts based on you selecting overs or unders, right? It's a fixed payout platform, right? It doesn't matter if we switch this to Looney, if we take Looney's under, if we take his over, we're always getting the same payout. 5 picks, you're always getting this payout. Doesn't matter if you take NHL picks, golf picks, whatever. You're always getting this fixed payout. So basically, the strategy for beating PrizePicks, because they're not varying your payouts based on you selecting overs or unders, is you want to find spots, right, where sportsbooks have one side heavily favored. So you're going to notice in this Reds game, well, that didn't work out as planned, so let's go here. We can also just go to this player bases one. So what you're going to notice is right here, right, in the Cardinals-Mariners game, Jared Kelenic, all the sports books, right, you have numerous data points, a ton of data points, DraftKings, Caesars, BetOnline, Flip. Every sports book is saying, hey, Pinnacle, sharpest bookmaker in the world. All these books are saying, hey, Kelenic's over is a lot more likely than his under. Right? All the books are telling you. So this is Parlay Play. This is another, kind of fantasy platform that doesn't vary your payouts based on you selecting over or under. But currently, I'm in New York, right? So this platform isn't available to me. So this would be an even better player prop to include on Parlay Play. Again, this is just some fantasy site that actually offers a little bit better payouts than PrizePicks. But I don't have this platform available to me right now. It's not legal in my location. So as a sharp bettor, you work with what you have. Currently I have 9 sportsbooks that I'm using in New York. Again, the more sportsbooks you sign up for, the more profitable betting opportunities you're going to have. Sometimes there's value on Underdog. I gave out this play on Twitter earlier, a play on Flith. So you can get Grayson Rodriguez over 5.5 Ks at minus 140. Most other sportsbooks have this around minus 170. My bookie has this at minus 333. So crazy value here at minus 140. But again, more sportsbooks, more profitable betting opportunities, more money in your pocket. But long story short, right, because PrizePicks, they're not going to change our payouts based on us hitting overs or unders, you really just want to find spots where sportsbooks have one side heavily favored, right? And here for Jared Kelenic, all of the books are telling you, his over, half of a base, so him to have 1+ base, is a lot more likely than his under. He's a lot more likely to have 1+ base as opposed to 0 bases. In Pinnacle, sharpest bookmaker, they have his over heavily favored. TonyBet, a Canadian sportsbook, has his over favored. BetOnline, Flip. So we have tons of data points, right? This is what's so powerful about sports betting is all these books try to set lines independently. So we have numerous data points all saying the same thing. Hey, Jared's a lot more likely to go over as opposed to under. So that's a profitable play to include in our PrizePicks entry. So the EV tool, you can literally just filter for PrizePicks if you want. I say this all the time, but if I go ahead and I select all sports books, you're going to see there's 190 different books on OddsJam. More sportsbooks you have, more profitable betting opportunities. So the top play, this is actually a New York sportsbook, Resorts World. This is the top play, Oswald Peraza, under half of a hit, right? So to not get a hit at plus 155 on Resorts World. And you're going to see this is crazy value. Most other sportsbooks have this around, plus 120 odds on average, and you're getting plus 155 on Resorts World. So I'm not currently using Resorts World, so this is a profitable bet I'm missing out on. The most profitable bet actually currently available on OddsJam. There's some plays on FanDuel, Flip, whatever. But anyways, let's get to PrizePicks. So I went through my No House Advantage entry. But here you can see this Reds Pirates, the nerfy we were just kind of looking at on the EV tool as well. But what this fantasy screen does is it just quantifies for you, hey, based on sportsbook odds, this is the win probability for your bet. So in the Reds Pirates game, all of the sportsbooks, right, they have the under first inning total runs. They have the nerfy, no runs first inning, under half of a run in the first inning. All the books have the under really heavily favored, right? All the books have the under juiced, right? So that's a great play to include in your PrizePicks entry because PrizePicks is not changing your payouts based on you selecting overs or unders. RJ Barrett, under 7.5, rebounds plus assists. All the books have his under heavily favored. So that's a great play to include on PrizePicks. So 5 picks that I went with on PrizePicks, we just went through no house advantage. Jaylen Brown over 27.5 points plus assists. RJ Barrett under 7.5 rebounds plus assists. I mean, I'm literally just following the data. I'm taking the picks in green. You don't want to take the picks in red. You want to take the picks in green because that's where sportsbooks have the most juice towards one side, right? You want to look for plays on PrizePicks because PrizePicks doesn't change your payouts based on you hitting over or under. You want to find spots where sportsbooks think one side is really likely, right? So for Tommy LaStella or Jared Kelenic, 2 players for the Mariners, the sportsbooks have them to get on base, so they're over half of the base, pretty heavily favored, around minus 140. So those are great player props to include in your PrizePicks entry. So I took the nerfy in the Reds game. Tommy LaStella, Jared Kelenic over half of a base, Barrett under 7.5 rebounds plus assists, Jaylen Brown over 27.5 points plus assists, following the data, following the market. That's how you make money sports betting. I mean, literally, I say this all the time, but 99% of sports bettors, they trust their gut, their heart. That's why they lose money. Do something different, right? Follow the data. Following handicappers is proven not to work, right? Like, betting with your gut doesn't work. That's what everyone does, and that's why the sports books are in business. The way you beat the sports books is you find plays with an edge, right? You find discrepancies in the market, and you take advantage of them. You capitalize on them. So hopefully this video was helpful. Let's make some money.